I think I start every devotion with something I love. I love quilts. More than that, I love the fond memories that involve my quilts or quilting. Both of my grandmothers were amazing seamstresses, and so was my mom. My grandma will be gone 25 years this month, and I can remember Grandma and her friends sitting around a big quilting frame, working on a quilt for themselves or for someone as a gift. Every winter, Grandma would set up her quilting frame in a front bedroom that wasn't used for anything, and she would just work on it on a cold winter day. I would go down to visit, and we'd sit there, and I'd put in a stitch or two. Nothing like what Grandma did. She was even published in a magazine. It was called Country, and they had an issue with a lot of different quilts, and she had one of her quilts published. And it was a picture of her holding that quilt, and I have that quilt, and I love that. She was so excited to see herself in that magazine. I also have a quilt she made me for a high school graduation gift. It's purple, which is my collar, but instead of wrapping it, she snuck up to my bedroom while I was at school and made my bed with it. I can still remember the excitement of walking in that room and seeing that quilt that she made just for me. When we built our house, I wanted to use that quilt in our bedroom, and so I painted the walls purple to match the quilt. Grandma thought I should have used the cream color in the quilt instead of the purple, and she kept asking to make sure I was positive I was doing it the way I wanted. And I was, but she, I think, still thought I should have gone with the cream. But I just love that quilt, even today. My mom finished a few quilts that Grandma didn't quite get done before God called her home. She has the patience to continue working on a sewing project to get it just perfect. I love to sew, but I have to admit I'm more of a this is good enough type seamstress. A cute story that I read that always sticks with me is about a little girl who's telling her mother about the sermon. She said, "The preacher said, 'Don't be scared, you'll get your quilts.'" The actual sermon title or topic was "Fear not, thy comforter will come." I just love that. It just kind of makes me chuckle every time I think about it. Comfort is my word for 2021. So of course the story jumped right out at me. But doesn't it speak the truth? Even as a grown adult, since I can't be wrapped in a hug from my grandma, nothing feels better to me than to be wrapped up in one of her quilts or comforters that she made for us. Isaiah 35:4 says, "Be strong, do not fear, your God will come. He will come with vengeance, with divine retribution, he will come to save you." This verse does not use the word comfort, but it does give me comfort to know that I have nothing to fear. God will come to save me. In John 14, Jesus is telling his followers about the Holy Spirit. In verse 26, he says, "The Advocate, the Holy Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name, will teach you all things and will remind you of everything I have said to you." Some translations use the word comforter instead of advocate. Even as Jesus was preparing to leave his disciples, he was giving them comfort, so they would not fear. The best part of this is that Jesus didn't leave the Holy Spirit just for his disciples. He sent him here for us too. Every day, every minute, even in the middle of the night when fear or anxiety grips our heart or mind. So what could be better than wrapping yourself up in one of Grandma's quilts or comforters? Wrapping yourself up in God's comfort. This week, I pray that you know God and that you feel the comfort of the Holy Spirit. Have a great week.